The option game is always one of the coolest and most entertaining parts of college football, and you always got to play with it a little bit on the college football video game. So here are 5 option plays to throw into your playbook if you're someone that likes to utilize the option game. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into JC's Pop Culture, where you can see all kinds of pop culture content. Here with me, JC, we're going to talk about my top 5 favorite option plays currently on College Football 25. You may have seen my last video talking about my favorite run plays, and I informed you in that video that's kind of my main go-to is the rushing game. Use it to set up the pass versus, vice versa. And so I run a lot of option as well. You saw some QB run game there in my top 5 run plays, and I utilize that here in the option. So let's talk about my top 5 favorite option plays right now that I'm running the most here on this game. And we're going to lead it off with this triple option lead left out of shotgun slot left weak. I think, I talked a little bit about this in the last video when I was talking about the rushing plays. I love these plays that utilize this motion, whether it's the jet motion or whatever. I love that pre-snap motion that's kind of built into some of these plays. I use it in a ton of different looks. And in this one, I really like, you got to get you a slot receiver that you really like, that's quick and stuff. Here I'm using West Virginia, Preston Fox. Not necessarily the quickest, but it'll work for this video. If you got a team with the speedy receiver, you go to the depth chart, you put him in as your slot man, you can really do some damage on this play. But actually, he comes across. You're going to have the guy coming across on a wham block, your lead tight end there. If you want to pull it, you can. And then you got the pitch out option out there wide. And usually, you got 1 or 2 guys. If you can make one of them miss, it's a big play waiting to happen. Of course, obviously, you're reading that defensive end right there first, deciding, do I want to hand it to the back? Do I want to pull it and do this triple option look? But it's really good, too, because there's other plays that have this same motion where it's a swing pass to the receiver and things like that. So, if you're utilizing different looks that have, the same looks that have different plays attached to them, like here, I could be running this. I could be running the swing pass to the receiver. I also have a play action pass that has this exact same motion. So a lot of that is kind of how I like to set up my playbook, and you could maybe do the same. This time we're going to hand it off because just how they're playing it, I figured they would be on that side. See how they overloaded it? Usually that means that defensive end's not going to crash. So there's also a play action pass off this same look, but with this motion, like I said, you've got 3 or 4 different plays. It's hard for the defense to be able to tell what's coming when you're running it. And see, here you go. Sometimes you can just get loose with the quarterback as well. So that's one of my favorite option plays in this game. Let's take a look at another. All right, similar here with the wide receiver in option, but this time out of a 4-wide set. It's motion wide receiver option, and instead of him wrapping around, he's just going to come around in kind of an orbit motion, which, like I said, if you have other plays that utilize orbit motion, orbit bubble, play action orbit passes, it really makes this harder to defend because they don't know what's coming. But see, he's going to come in motion, you're reading that defensive end, and it's kind of a similar look. Should have handed that one off, but see, even if you don't make the right read on that initial read of the defensive end where you have the option to pitch, sometimes you can still get a good play as I did there. So you're reading that defensive end, and then you got your pitch guy coming in off the edge that you're reading there as well. Here he comes in the orbit motion. Should have handed it again. But like I said, even when you don't make the right read, you can still maybe get a couple positive yards. See if I can actually make the right read this time. We'll see how the defensive end plays it. And that time I made the right read, and you see all kinds of space out here for Garrett Green, and it's a big gain there. Let's get one more successful one here. Motion wide receiver option out of shotgun spread flex. There we go. See, that's the correct read. And get a good 5 yards there. So there's another option play I like. Let's take a look at another. All right, now this one's out of a 2-back set, and it's the midline read option. I do have a couple midline options in here. If you don't know about the midline option, it was really successful on 14. I haven't been able to, replicate this success as much in this one, but your read key is actually in the middle here. Instead of reading the defensive end, you're reading the man in the middle and seeing if he follows that running back, you can keep it. If he stays put, you hand it to the running back, and it's just a different read. And also a lot of times people are, playing their defensive ends for the read option, and if you get someone that kind of keys on it that way, this play can be really effective because you're going up the middle instead. So let's see if we can get a good read on this one. See, he went to the running back there, read it, pulled it with GG, nice gain up the middle there. So the hole is up the middle versus running it outside on most read options, and that's why I like this, because it's a different look. This time we'll give it off, and probably should have bounced that outside. So once you essentially hand it off, it's almost like an outside zone play, because with him going, sweeping to the right. See if we can get a good read on this one. There's a good read, and it's a big play for GG. Fumbled there at the end, unfortunately, trying to spin. That's a look at the midline option. Let's take a look at a couple more option plays that I really like on this game. All right, now here we are. I mentioned the pistol empty sets that I really like here when I was in my my top 5 rushing plays video, and we're going to use one of those sets here to run this load option at a pistol empty tight stack. Give them a random play to run to defend it. And in this one, you get that motion that I always talk about, that built-in motion, and he's just going to come behind you, and it's just an option with you and the outside receiver on this one. And you see you can run it. I like to run it to the wide side of the field. Typically here we're in the middle, so it doesn't really matter. We can go either way. But we're going to the left side this time, and he's going to come behind and watch how this functions. So if they play it like that, it's almost essentially just like a QB sweep. But usually you'll have a pitch man there coming to read, and you got to make the decision, do I want to keep it, do I not? They're loaded up on this side, so in an ideal situation, I'll probably flip this play. But just running it right now, we're going to keep it this side because I want to get a look at the pitch option. This is probably the option play that I run the most on this game. I think it's very successful against most defenses in a lot of different scenarios as well. See that time? Just quick. If you've got a QB that's quick enough, sometimes you can get around the edge, not needing to pitch it. You've seen a couple times here. Let's run it one more time. And see, that time he stuck with the pitch man. You just got to read that man, see what he's doing. He stuck with the pitch man that time, so just hang on to it. Don't pitch it too early. You know, you can get those pitches intercepted. Make sure he's coming to you before you pitch it, because they do have, pitch out of tackle animations in this game. So you can actually pitch pretty late if you hit it, just tap it. Because tapping, it's a quick pitch. If you try and hold the L1 in, he's not going to get that pitch off. But if you're getting hit and you just tap it, you can get it off more times than not. So you got hit there but got it off because you used the quick pitch, which is just a tap of L1 or LB versus the hold. One more time for good measure here. Boom, perfectly timed pitch actually. Gets a nice gain. All right, and then the final option play here that I want to talk about, actually it's in the flex bone, and technically it's listed under a QB run, but I'm still including it as an option play because you're in the flex bone, you give the option look, but it's QB counter here out of flex bone close is the formation that I've got it in. I think they've got it in multiple flex bone formations, but this just plays just really cool because you get a lot of action sweeping to the right, as you see here. In the flex bone, a lot of times you'll have one of those two backs right there running the kind of orbit motion, and you got like a triple option type look, and on this play you give that same look, but then the defense, hopefully is sweeping that way, and you're able to come back the other way with the quarterback. Check this out, and sometimes the hole will be up the middle, sometimes you bounce it to the outside. Let's see how it goes this time. So he fakes the handoff and swings back this way. And you see all kinds of open field there because you get all the action going one way, and you're trying to turn back against the grain the other way here. Look, see that linebacker that swept across right there? Left a wide open gap there for the quarterback. This play is really good, guys. It's really dependent on these defensive ends and these defensive tackles. You saw they escaped through that time. But see, if they get those blocks right there, then it's wide open. You can even hit a little cutback lane like I just did right there, and you get a nice gain on this one. So that's a look at my top 5 favorite option plays currently on College Football 25. Throw some of these in your playbook if you're an option type guy, and I think you'll have success with them. So there you have it, some of my favorite option plays that I'm currently running in College Football 25. Hope that you like them, and hopefully you can use them for success in the game. Throw in the comments some of your favorite option plays, or if these are some of yours as well, let me know that also. Always appreciate those interactions here on JC's Pop Culture as we continue to try and grow the channel. And if you're a fan of College Football 25 content, be sure to hit that subscribe button here. We're going to have plenty of it coming in the near future, and you're not going to want to miss out on it. So hit that subscribe button to keep up with it here. And just before you head out, if you do me one final favor, just hit that thumbs up button. Give me a like on this video. It really helps a shit ton with the YouTube algorithm. Can't thank you enough for that. Just like I appreciate you tuning into this one, and I will catch you on the next one.